Welcome back to the RTF podcast, where we refresh your feet so you don't have to. My name is Matt, his name is Adam, and this is episode 55. Okay, Lupis, what an absolute pleasure it is.
I'm fucking pumped, bro. I was so happy when you messaged me to come on again.
Of course, bro, of course. So I wanted you on so bad. We were talking for a while, and we've been saying to do this since the last one.
Yeah, I know. When was the last time we did it? Was it last year?
Yeah.
Last year. A year? Yeah.
Yeah, been maybe just under a year. But yeah.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's wild, right? I want to talk about let's talk about what we got going on.
Got a lot of stuff going on, man. Actually, it's funny. The past few months, so I went to Italy in June. No, was it May or June?
You went just after me. I had just gotten back and you went.
Yeah, right? Okay, yeah. So I went June 4th or something like that. Dude,
sorry, you went before me. Yeah, you went before me. I went in August.
It was like early June. I went to I was there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I went there for a wedding, my girlfriend's cousin's wedding. I went with her family, went to Rome, then Calabria, then Sicily, then back to Calabria. It was just going all around and stuff. Nice. Beautiful. And I haven't been since I was a kid. Really? Yeah. So I've been since I was 8 years old. I was supposed to go actually back in 2018 with my parents, but then I couldn't just because of work and stuff like that. And that was when we were transitioning barbershops at the time. Big disaster, big regret because I love Italy so much. It was amazing. Yeah. So I did that, and then I actually this past year I was working with my acting agency because last year when we spoke I wasn't even with it.
Yeah, I know you weren't at all.
No, so I've been doing that for the past year.
Nice.
Sorry, since February. And I booked like 3 commercials. I booked 2 TV spots. Wow. I booked a voiceover for a cartoon show that hopefully is going to get picked up because it's really, really cool. And I just been booking guests for my show and stuff. But it wasn't all
fun and dandy, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't all easy.
Dude, I would literally, when I came back from Italy, I went to a real dry spot with guests. And I'm not sure if you experience it like when you try to reach out to people too, but like I'm getting a lot of rejection. And I reached out to over like 55 people. Wow. 55 people, and I didn't even hear back from anybody. And this is like in the height of the summer, like July-ish. Yeah. And it sucked because it really discouraged me a lot. And I was like telling Justin, who I work with, I was like, maybe when you get discouraged, you get these thoughts. Okay, maybe I should just stop it then. Or maybe I took it as a sign. I'm not getting anybody, so maybe I should just focus on my solo stuff and just take it a different route. And then like a week later, I get like all these replies. Yes.
No
what
way.
The hell? Yeah. Swear to God, yeah. So I guess it just goes to show that like you just persistence and just never give it up. I know it sounds corny when I say that, but I genuinely mean that.
Yeah, I was looking through I've seen a bunch of your interviews. I've been going through them a lot on YouTube and stuff like that. But I want to talk about, since we're on a little bit about last year and you're changing and things like that. I want to talk about like the transition from the podcast, like the Up and Adam Show podcast, to sort of like the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And like the different direction that you went there, because I'm like, obviously it's so the most noticeable, right? Like, and change for the better, I would say, right? Yeah. I would definitely say for the better. So I want to talk about like what was like your mindset behind going from that podcast style to definitely a YouTube style interview.
Yeah. So when I first did, I literally started doing it on my phone.
Yeah.
On speaker. I was doing it on I had no equipment. I was doing it on a shitty laptop with my. So what I used to do. So anybody watching, this is what I used to actually do. Anybody wants to start a podcast, you can literally do like this. I'm not even joking. I would, I had a recording app on my computer, and I would literally put my phone on the computer. Literally, I'm not gonna do it on yours, but for example,
like on that. I would
rest it there, and I would just talk. And it was just like I would just talk with them, and like it sounded so bad. I'm gonna see if I can quickly play you a little like just how it sounded.
That's wild. Sounds terrible. But you still have the Up and Adam Show episodes on Spotify and all that, no?
Now, no, I don't do that anymore.
No, but like the episodes on there, I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Some before.
Yeah, they're still there. Right?
Yeah. You don't have you don't do it anymore, obviously, but.
No, so just so you can hear how bad it sounds, listen to this.
And on August 30th, 1976.
Yeah, it sounds like a phone call, man.
It literally, yeah.
That's what it sounds like, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess just to kind of like break it down, when I first started, I literally just was like, I wanna just talk to people. I don't care if I have to do it on a speakerphone, because the way I think about it is if you're putting out good content, good conversations, it doesn't matter how you're doing it. And now that I look back, I kind of regret saying that in a way because, you know, the better quality things are, the more retention it's gonna get, right?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I'm sure that episode, even though it was with that guy Lilo, it's not gonna probably didn't do that well just because of the fact that people are like, I can't listen to this. It's literally pop, 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 pop.
That was would you say that was one of your one of like the first big names in the Brancato?
Yeah, and I was shitting my pants when I had to do that too. I was so nervous too, and I'm like, I got the guy from the Bronx, I got the guy from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and so the transition from that, when I first started, it was called the 22NU podcast. So all those ones that you see there, all those ones that you see there were actually under the 22NU podcast. But when my editor at the time, different than Justin, he would splice out the beginning where I say, welcome back to the 22NU podcast. And then I just verbally, he spliced in, welcome back to the Up and Adam show. That's how it transitioned. But when I first did it, it was actually on YouTube. Just audio, but it was like a moving record. It was a spinning record.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes, I do. It was like black background and the moving record. Yeah. And it said 22NU.
Yeah, so I used to do that. And then when I did it on the Up and Adam show, I thought, like, what? I gotta think of a clever name, something that like has my name in it. I don't want to call it the Adam Lupis show. That's too typical. So I thought, I'm like, you know, Up and Adam was a very at the time in the 80s.
Yeah, it's catchy. It's definitely catchy.
I go Up and Adam. I don't know. It just was a thing in the 80s and the 90s, and I'm very infatuated with that. Like I've told you, and that's why the logo itself too was very like MTV vibes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, like, you know what? My goal is to eventually be like on a late night show, doing like how Johnny Carson does it. And I've told you that in the past too.
Yeah,
right?
that's a big influence for you, and Jimmy Fallon and those guys.
Yeah, all those guys. Yeah, so I transitioned it where I changed the logo. The logo's been through like 3 changes. So when I changed it the second time, it was just an A with an arrow, an up arrow.
Yeah, but I think this most recent time, the A and the up arrow was like the biggest branding overall change, I would say. Yeah, because the color scheme was different and things like that. Yeah,
when I first started, it was again like the yellows and reds and like the MTV vibes.
Yeah.
Then I really stripped it down. I made it look very like
minimalistic.
Just blues.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would walk in on my YouTube and like looking back, I kind of do regret it. But again, you gotta try these things.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like I was saying the same thing. Like originally with the podcast, even like the original episodes of like your sister's favorite for me.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just watch that stuff and it's like, how the fuck, like how did I even do, like why did I do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like you just look back and you're like, oh my God, this was terrible. But like that's all a part of evolution. I think like that, watching that stuff and like going back is like the best feeling. Because then you watch some new stuff and you're like this is what progress is. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is what you live for. Like it's all about progress and being better and things like that.
Yeah, I think if you look back and you regret too much, it's like what like the old saying, like don't take yourself too seriously. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You know, you can't look at it and really pick on things and go, oh, I should have done that, like, and really beat yourself about it, because then you're not gonna want to pursue things after, because then you're gonna overthink, like, what if I do this now and it's like that, and what if I look back again and it's corny, like what are people gonna think that? You gotta just say screw it. Like if you thought something was good at the time,
yeah. You gotta respect that.
You gotta respect it, man.
Yeah,
you
gotta respect
listen, I used to go in and do monologues like how Jimmy Fallon does it. Looking back, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, I was terrible. But, you know, in a way I respect it, because I'm like, you know, I did something different. Like,
yeah, and you thought you thought it was good. Like, you wanted to do it.
What other podcast, like, really, I'm not trying to, like, toot my own horn here, but what other video podcasts do you see doing that, where they come in like a...
Monologue, yeah. No, literally none.
None. So, I did it in a way to be different. And I think if I didn't do that, who knows if I would have even took this transition.
Yeah, it's all stepping stone, right? It's all pages to the book. That's the way I think of it.
Yeah.
It all had to happen like that.
And I think when I got to where I am now, the biggest transition, I think, because I finally found what I think fits properly.
Yeah.
Color-wise, you know, the pinks, the blues, the purples, like all the colors I like together. The logo itself, it has like a neon sign look.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christina Valenzano.
Yeah, Chris Valenzano.
She's so
great.
Talented. Great.
Yeah, she's really great.
Yeah, and then I got where I do it, and you still have to come by actually.
I do.
It's in my mom's. My mom and my sister have an aesthetic spa, right?
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, so it's in one of the rooms, and it's good. It's cozy. Like I have my the same soundproofing thing you have. I have my backdrop. I got my little setup and everything, and it's been good, man. And now I have a good routine. I do my interviews.
Yeah, it's dope.
I do my solo stuff. So that transition, I think it helped me even find who I am as a person as well, like what I aspire to do. Even doing that thing with Daniel Calderon, right? Shout out to Daniel, where I had to do that video about my studio.
Yeah.
I think it was nice to do that with him. First, just to work with a collab, like just to collab with someone like that, very talented, and also just to really tell people what I'm all about. You know, I think it's important to let people know. So that's how I transitioned.
Yeah, I want so like even that we were talking about some of your guests, like Lilo was like one of the first big ones, but you've had some like very large names on the podcast as of I want to say more than 6 months it's been.
Yeah.
Right. So some very large names. I want to talk about like what's the process of getting into. Is it sort of like just a DM or an email or through a contact?
This is what I have to do. So it is a long process. So I have a manager, Melissa, I've told you about.
Yeah.
And I love working with her, and she's been a great help because she knows a lot of people in the industry. But sometimes it's not.
Not as easy.
Yeah, even though she's, people just think, you got lucky, there you go, she get you the people. No, it's not like that, man. So, it's actually a really, really cool story. So, she'll reach out to people, and sometimes they'll just brush her off. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll think about it, right? Because they respect her, but they don't respect me yet, right? And it's nothing against them. It's just, you have to look at it like, because people always think, if someone doesn't want to do it, like, screw them. You can't look at it like that, because the way I think about it is that if I was in a position where I was a celebrity, okay, and I saw a young up and coming, which who know, if I don't know somebody, I'm not gonna think they're up and coming. I'm saying, it's a guy with a small podcast. Is it worth going on their way, like to put my time towards that, or I have 10 other people asking me that have bigger things? I'm gonna devote my time to that. It's all about where to devote your time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And also it helps. Like, think about it. If a large name comes on my show, like, I'm saying this in the most humble way, in a way, it's like kind of downgrading for them, right? I'm not trying to like make myself sound bad or anything, but that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think so much as downgrading. I think it's maybe not in their best interest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like you're saying, like there's definitely times that they need to devote their time to things that they're doing, whether it be something else. But I think that there's, in a way, like I know a lot of like big content creators, and Gary Vee is a big preacher of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know himself, but he talks about like a 15-minute Zoom call. He's like, that's all it takes. He's like, 15-20 minute Zoom call. He's like, people aren't going to say no to that. People are going to be like, listen, it'd be a great help if you would like come on my podcast. It'd be 15-minute Zoom call. That's all it would take, 20 minutes. Right. And people, like, more often than not, you don't get rejected in that scenario. Like, people definitely say like, yeah, sure. And you get bigger names, you get more. Obviously, Zoom call is not the most ideal form of podcasting because nowadays it's all like in person with like the whole production process, but it's a stepping stone, right? It's definitely, and like, to say from my perspective, like, could I have gotten bigger guests if I tried with Zoom? Most definitely, because Zoom, people don't have to come here, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it expands your audience as well, and your scope of like who you can invite.
Yeah,
right.
It's funny, but the Gary Vee thing. So I'm nothing against him. I just don't follow his stuff as much.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just don't.
No, some people do. Yeah. Some people
nothing against him. I respect what he does. I don't know. I just never took time to do it. But Justin is a huge fan of him. And it's funny you mentioned the 15-20 minute thing. At first, I didn't even mention a time frame. I think I did, like, it was like 45 minute, I would say.
Yeah.
But then just like, why don't you just say like 15 minutes? And that's what I've been doing.
And people aren't going to reject that.
And it's funny, when I do that and they come on, half the time I always double check. I go, oh, you okay for 15 minutes? They'll always say, yeah, even 20, 25. And then that's when I go, okay, 25 minutes, so now it's 25.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, I'm not trying to be sneaky like that, but you gotta play the game a bit, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta,
because it ends up turning into a long conversation, right?
Yeah, and also you gotta think about it too. It's not, I'm not doing it to take advantage where I say, okay, now you said 25. It's more because I have a lot of good questions, and listen, as much as I'm not a big name yet, I say yet because I like to believe I can be one day, but who knows? Maybe I won't be. But I like to believe that. But since I'm not there yet, I still feel like I have value. I bring value to people, whether they're a big name or not. If they're coming on my show, I'm gonna give them the best damn interview.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because I want to believe that I can.
Sure.
It's same with you when you interview people or you do stuff with Matt or anybody you do. It's like you want to believe that you guys are the best.
Yeah.
That you guys put out good content and everything. And it's not so much being the best despite other people. It's the best for yourself, the best version of yourself. So, when I first got Lilo on, he was my big guest. Him, I DM'd. So him was just a DM. And I got lucky because he literally said, he goes, oh, I'm not really checking my DMs much. He goes, email me. So then I end up emailing him. Then I thought to myself, I'm like, at the time I didn't have no other ways of contacting. And I would DM a lot of people. I got no reply. No one even checks.
Exactly.
Even people who have like 1,000 followers don't even check their DMs sometimes, bro. Even I don't check my DMs sometimes, realistically. Yeah. So I finally got an IMDb Pro, what's it called?
Like an a profile?
Subscription, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been finding all the people. So I can search any celebrity and it has all their representations.
Oh wow.
So the rule of thumb is Melissa taught me always do the publicist. So what she would do, and I help her with it because we work together on it. We email their publicist, we try to schedule it, and then we go from there. Now again, sometimes it's tough because even though she brings a lot of value and she brings a lot of stuff to the table, it's tough because it's sometimes hard to win people over, right? So I'll give you an example. I just did, and I posted about my stories, some of them, but I just recorded with like, I'll tell the audience too, just because I want to, so they can look forward to it. These are some of my upcoming guests that I got, and they're actually I'm pretty happy that I got them. So I'm not sure if you know anybody.
Yeah, I saw a couple.
Yeah, so Chris Kattan from Night to Roxbury.
Yeah.
David Proval, who played Richie on The Sopranos. Eric Roberts, who's Julia Roberts' brother. He's a great actor. He's done so many different things. Catherine Narducci, who's in Sopranos, Euphoria. Did you watch Euphoria?
Yeah.
Did you watch season 2?
No.
Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it then.
Okay.
Watch season 2.
Yeah.
Lily D. Moore, she's an actress. Tatiana Zappardino, she's in the new Tulsa King show. The two guys from The Sandlot. Did you watch Sandlot?
I watched not fully, but yeah.
Yeah, them. The main character from Halloween Town.
A thing as well, Mike Starr.
Mike Starr from Goodfellas, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, Jamie Kennedy, who's in the Scream movies, and he has the Jamie Kennedy Experiment.
Yeah.
Karen Allen from the Indiana Jones movies, and the biggest one for me, I'm very proud of, and I'll tell you the story how it was a long process. Danny Trejo.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that one for me, man, I'm very proud of myself for that one. Oops, because that one took, I'm telling you, a year to get them.
No way.
Yes. Wait, hold on. It's October now. Okay, 10 months. It was like in August. No, it was in December. It was in December when I first reached out to him. December of 2021.
Holy shit, man.
It took me that long. So
yeah, he's great. He's fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
it took me a while because through emailing, calling, bombarding, finally I got it. But I could have been that person to just do it once or twice and then not hear anything and give up, right?
Yeah.
But anybody watching, that's why I know I hate to sound corny like this, but if you really believe in something, man, don't let anything get in your way. Just keep going. Like, people are always worried about, how am I gonna make other people feel? What if I reach out too much? Am I annoying? Am I bombarding? Screw it. You know what?
It is what it is. At the end of the day, it is.
I don't stop until I get no as an answer. That's how I am with everything.
Exactly.
If I don't hear from you, like Melissa always tells me, which is good. She teaches me these things, right? Because you gotta know how to play the game too. Yeah. In the industry, she's always like, if they don't answer after like the second time, it's their way of saying no. Yeah. And I tell her all the time, well, that's not my way of. That's not my way. Yeah. So guess what? They're gonna play by my rules. Okay, I don't give a shit how big they are. Again, I value myself. You have to value yourself in life. Exactly. If you don't, then you're always gonna get stepped on. You're always gonna get pushed around, and no one's gonna take you seriously. So you know what? I don't let people do that to me. If I stopped after twice for Danny Trejo, I wouldn't have got him.
Exactly.
So it's like that's the name of the game. So that's.
Yeah, I was thinking like as well. When we were going back to like a 15-20 minuter, the benefit with that is, if you're not an idiot, right? Like if you're not just a dummy that just has just questions just written out, and then you ask and then they answer, and then you ask and then they answer, and that's how it ends. Like if you're someone who actually sits there and talks to somebody, that's I think what the barrier is between a general podcast interview, content creation, like a general that just like you come on, you go through the motions, you call it a day. When you sit down and you actually talk to somebody, and people then appreciate that, right? That's when those 15-20 minutes turns into like 10-15 minutes turns into like 20, 25, 30, right? Like that's when they appreciate, okay, this guy's well put together, he knows what he's talking about, he's done definitely some research. Research is also important in terms like for an interviewer, right? So when they see that side of you, it's like, okay, I'm going to sit here. Like, it's not, they don't know that going in. So to get that, like, approach after they're already in, that's what makes them stay. Yeah. Right? And that's what creates sort of like, not a community, but like an understanding of what you do. Mm-hmm. And the more people you do that with, the more understanding people get from that. And they're able to say, yeah, I'll go. Adam actually talks to you. Like, he's not just going to ask me questions and then it's done. And then I answer them quick and it's done. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll sit there and he'll talk to me, right? Like, that's what it is. Yeah. And people understand that after a while.
I think it's also, it's a respect thing for them too.
Yeah.
People always forget that these people do multiple interviews, man. I was Danny Trejo's 4th interview that day.
Wow.
So for all I know, I try to do like you do, where it's like I try to make it just a conversation, which I do, but I have to have these questions in place too. Which
no, for sure.
Which no matter what, no matter how you do it, even Jimmy Fallon, no matter how they do it, it's always gonna come off a little scripted, no matter what.
No, yeah, for sure. But that's not what I'm trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about because like anyone has like material
Yeah,
prepared for sure before, but it's more like the way you respond to that material is gonna be genuine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, instead of just generic answer, generic question,
Yeah.
it's I'll talk to you about your answer after. Like, it's me talking to you. It's not TV personality, fucking whoever talking to whoever. You know what I mean? Like,
I totally agree, and you know what? It's good that you think like that because, first off, it makes for the best conversations.
yeah,
Second, it's like you're asking questions. If you do it to actually get to to get to know somebody, and you're genuinely curious about their story, like I said, your reactions are genuine, and even like just the questions themselves, you're asking things that you would always want to ask these people. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Especially if it's some like people you aspire to be like. Right?
Yeah, for sure, right?
100%.
People that you look up to. I mean, like even when I had Danny Trejo on, like something that I know he gets asked a lot, but I think it goes deeper than that. You can ask somebody the same question they've been asked before. I think it's the way you ask them, and I think that's what you're trying to get at too. Like for example, I could just sat there and be like, "So Danny, you went to prison, and you finally got out, and you cleaned up. Tell us about that." Like I could just ask it like that.
Yeah.
But instead, I was like, "Listen, Danny, I gotta be honest with you." I said, there's so many people that go to prison and do this stuff, and they never end up getting out. Sometimes they die in prison, or they just end up becoming the same. I said, like, as a kid, I told myself I could only imagine myself. I'm 23.
How old was he when he was in the prison?
He was in his
early 20s,
early 20s, late teens, early 20s, in and out of prison, right? And he was so nice to talk about it. But the way I asked it was this: I formed it like this. I said, I'm 23. I can only imagine myself going to prison. I said I wouldn't be able to handle it. I said, like, how did you even handle something like that? Like, that's how I asked. And it's me just being genuine about it. You could hear the tone of my voice, how I did it. It just gotta be genuine about it, and I think that's you have to be like that because I think you stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, I think also genuine has to do with stuff you're talking about as well. I don't think you can have a genuine conversation unless you express some flair of interest in it.
Yeah,
that's the way. If you've like done not some research, but like you know something about it, right? Like you express some interest, and I want to say like. Obviously, there's a pattern in your guests, the actors or influence,
all ranging from like people I've grew up watching, or even like from the 90s
for sure.
and stuff like that are still relevant, obviously. But like I try to do people that I watched as a kid or did all these amazing things.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and one person I didn't bring up, Burt Young. I didn't bring up him.
Burt Young as well.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Yeah.
As I watched that one, that was over a couple thousand views.
Couple thousand, yeah. I wish it did better just because of like who he is and stuff. And also not because of that. Again, like, see, for me, I'm glad you brought up the views thing because I do it more because I want people to see how genuine that was. Did you know if that interview, I think I had questions written out, but it was hard for him to speak because he's an older gentleman. Now. It's hard. It's hard for him, right? So I got a lot of one-word stuff, but you could see like just his face. He would laugh sometimes or he would smile. Like you could tell he really enjoyed it, and I just talked to him like. Not even just a fan, just as a regular person.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the main thing is like not putting these people on a pedestal too much. I tend to do that, which is good. Like I always.
Because you don't want to fangirl out. You don't want to be like, oh my god, what was it like and this? But like you're just like what was the I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Burt Young. It was I forgot his name, from The Irishman.
Oh, Patrick Gallo.
Yes. And you're like what was it like to just be in that scenario? Like Pacino and De Niro are sitting at the same table as you, and what is it like? What is that? What are you thinking there? Like what the fuck is going on? And he's like, it's crazy. Like Scorsese is there, and like I couldn't even like it's just out of body experience. Like you just don't even realize what's going on. Like you know what I mean? It just turns into like this greater. Like understanding that he's just like, oh, okay, this guy just wants to know what it's like. It's not like
it's literally just genuine. Because I gotta think, bro. Because if I was in that situation, I always ask questions. If I was in that situation, like if I was in a movie with Scorsese, De Niro,
I'd freak out. I would tweak.
Oh my god, like it's just
I'd freak out.
I would want someone to ask me because it's just like I gotta tell you how it was. It was unbelievable.
Exactly. How can you even like? How can you act properly like that, bro?
Yeah, that's
it's impossible.
And I think the one thing too people have to understand when they do interviews, people is they have to listen. They have to really listen. If you notice my interviews, I rarely cut people off. I listen. I always wait till they're finished speaking, and I always listen. I don't just ask them a question, listen, like pretend to listen, and then go on to the next question. It depends on the conversation. Sometimes you talk to somebody, it's a little harder to gauge the interview.
Yeah.
You know, some people are very nice, and it's just they. Some people carry the interview so well, you know, and some people don't. Unfortunately, I've dealt with people like that.
It's just happens to be that way.
Yeah, but when you talk and you listen, I feel like sometimes like I had 10 questions written out for somebody. I forgot who it was I was speaking with, but I had like 10 questions written out, and they're always very general. The way I write my questions like this. It's not even like word for word. I write it like, let's say I'm talking to Burt Young. Instead of writing, ask him about, like for example, what was it like working on the Rocky movie? Instead of doing that, I would just put like, talk bracket Rocky movies. That's how I write.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I just form it in my own way of speaking.
Exactly.
Right? But I'm saying like, sometimes I had 10 questions written out for somebody. I didn't even get to any of them. I think it was a one question, and then it led to a whole different trajectory.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like, oh my God, it was the best experience because doing it on the fly like that is so cool. Just because of the fact that like you get to learn so much about somebody.
Exactly.
You know, that's the way
I think the same thing. I want to talk about like when I was saying like you actually genuinely know what you're talking about. Like your passion for film and acting, obviously because you're becoming an actor, but it's like when you're in that scenario and you have an understanding of like Night of the Roxbury, and those are the things that like are your foundation for like what you want to be. It just turns into like a next level. It's not even an interview at that point. It's just you gaining like personal experience.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, I'm doing this for my show, my interview. Like this is me learning everything about what I want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not just, okay, I had him on for the thing and like my interview, and that's it. And the interview's done and chalk it up. It's like, no, like this guy that just taught me how to fucking act in 15 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's shit like that like kind of blows your mind in a way. Yeah. After a while.
Dude, of course, I'm so happy you brought that up, man. And actually, I gotta say too, man, just so everyone's watching, you're a great interviewer, bro.
Thank you.
Say, like, you know,
Thank you.
I love the
Appreciate
way.
it.
Yeah, no, you're awesome, dude. And that's why, like, I love collabing with you, all these things, and
sure.
I want to do more stuff with you. That's why, because you're great at what you do. So first off,
thank you. Appreciate it.
But second, it's just you're absolutely right. When I talk to these people, I look at it like just I'm talking to somebody I've always looked up to. You know, and like they're literally throwing out free tidbits, not just for me, but for everybody, man.
That's what I'm saying.
When I post these interviews, everybody's learning, not even just me. So, for example, when I talked to Chris Kattan, right? He talked about like his character. He was on Saturday Night Live, from the years 1996 to 2003, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but you know, for 6-7 years he was on, right? And he was just unbelievable. So he's known for his like physicality as a performer and as a comedian and everything. That's like what he's known for. So, you know, he talked about some of his characters. Like he has a character on Saturday Night Live, Mr. Peepers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen like.
I've seen it. I've seen clips of it before. Obviously I wasn't live to watch it.
Of course, yeah.
But
when you watch reruns on YouTube and stuff too, right? And like you just see him like how he eats an apple. And I did research on it where like he learned how to eat an apple. Actually, sorry, I read it in his book. I bought his book and I read it. Talks about all these things like how, he's like, oh, like he learned how to eat an apple in a matter of seconds. Like just quickly as a monkey, like he just goes so quick.
That's crazy.
And he's like, you know, like he's just going nuts. And I'm just talking to him. I'm like, dude, like you like learned how to. I'm like, how'd you even learn how to eat an apple? Like, well, see, things like that interest me. Like, like you know, you talk about learning how to eat an apple in seconds. How did you learn to do that? Like, how? What do you mean? Like, how do you even go about that? And then he's laughing. Like, well, I didn't. He goes, you know, you just know something. Like, you know, it's in you. You want to do something, so you just say, I could do it. And he goes, I didn't go to like a school to eat apples, and I thought that was like a funny joke. Right? But it's like you learn these things about their process, and some of these people have the most craziest, unique processes. It's like makes you think like, holy shit, like it's crazy how it's so crazy how, man, like we live in a world where everyone is so talented in their own ways, and they do all these crazy things.
Yeah, because you only see what's on the screen, right? You don't really see what goes into everything behind it.
Yeah, but even on screen, you look at it too, you just go like, how the hell did he do that?
Exactly.
Like, how the hell is he? You know, or how'd they come up with this? Or like how to, you know, you watch a movie like Night at the Roxbury, it feels so genuine. Like just Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan just going back and forth. It just feels like you're with them.
Yeah, it feels like it's especially during the 90s, right? Late 90s. Yeah. It's like must have been what like the funniest in-depth like of a life of like these guys, of the nightclub goers, like, you know what I mean? And it's to talk to somebody like that, to ask him what he was doing, right? It's like next level. It's like,
you, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy just getting to know people. That's what I love to do, and I want to just spread positivity with it. You know,
100%.
I never make people look bad, even if they've done bad stuff in the past. I talk to people who had a bad past.
For sure.
You know, but it's never to make them look bad or to gain off that. You never want to gain off people.
That's the worst thing, man. There's a lot of interviews I know, like, not to spark up like a political debate, but I know like Piers Morgan is like always someone to bring the negative out. It's always something negative, right? It's always trying to, like, the last two that I've seen is like Kanye West and Andrew Tate, and you know, like there's things like that have like a negative agenda that are just trying to like not stir problems, but trying to patch things that don't really, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, or that have already been patched.
Yeah.
Like an example, like look at like Robert Downey Jr., right? He had a bad past, and he overcame that.
Yeah.
Which, dude, you can't blame someone or knock somebody for that, right? But there's one interview where I'm not sure if you know his name. I don't even know his name. But he interviewed me, and he was always bringing up his dad. And, you know, I don't know much about it and read it, so I don't want to, like, give off the wrong information here. But you could tell he didn't want to talk about that. And he kept pushing it. Like, you know, you talk about your father. And talk about
like people go through this shit,
like,
man. People go through this shit.
That was when he was promoting Avengers or something like that, or like the next Iron Man movie, right? And like that's what they were talking about. And then Rami just talked about that. You know, you talk about your father in the past and the drug, and he left.
Yeah.
He goes bye. I'm sure you've seen it, or
I've
if you
probably seen
haven't,
it.
you should look it after. It's really like you feel so bad. You watch and you go, oh,
yeah, exactly.
God.
Yeah, are you a big Avengers fan, by the way?
Oh, I love Avengers, bro.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Love Avengers. I love Marvel stuff, bro.
Yeah, and
Actually, well, this is DC. I watched Black Adam last night.
No way. Apparently, it's really good. Black Adam, but not White Adam.
White Adam.
White Adam. But it was a good. I heard it was
amazing.
Really? I've heard good reviews about it.
Well, I'm hearing mixed things too, but I'm a big superhero guy, bro.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
And
with
I'm not
me.
gonna spoil something, but something great happens. I'm not gonna say anything. I can't. But I'm so excited because
sounds good.
Now something happens in that thing, and I'm just happy they did.
I love The Rock. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I think he's awesome.
If you smell.
Well, I was a big WWE fan.
You were?
I was like, I was a kid, like WWE. Yeah, before it was like AEW and things like that. Yeah,
I didn't know that shit.
I used to watch Monday Night Raw.
My brother's the biggest. Well, I don't know not anymore, but he still respects it. But he grew up when it was like WWF.
Oh yeah, because he's older.
Yeah, and then well, it was like the ending of it, and then he got into when WWE first started, and you had like people like The Rock, Stone Cold. It was Hulk Hogan still, but he was with NWO. Remember? With Steve Nash.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Right.
That's a long time ago.
Sorry, not Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
Did I say Steve Nash?
From the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. Steve Nash, he's watching just like, what the fuck? No, Kevin Nash and...
Yeah, I forgot the other guy.
I don't know, but Kevin Nash.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
You're a big superhero guy, but the film... One of the biggest film events or holidays along the entire year is coming up. A couple days. Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be just before Halloween.
What do you mean? Oh, what?
Halloween, yeah. One of the biggest events are holidays for film, yeah, right? So I want to talk about like some of your favorite like Halloween films and things like that. Oh, I know you did a little short on your thing, but
yes.
I want to talk about like
I'm sorry about deeper ones. Because my girlfriend's gonna love when I say this. I say it sarcastically. She loves Michael Myers the best, right?
Okay.
Bro, don't cancel, man. Don't cancel. I think he's overrated, bro. I didn't like the Halloween Ends movie.
Oh, you watched it? I didn't watch it yet.
I didn't like it, bro. It really fucked
They're
up.
washed, man. They have like
because they
I think the character's washed. Like Michael Myers, like after so long, unless
do you agree then he's overrated now?
No, I don't think he's overrated. I just think he's like a very lazy villain.
I don't think he's anything special about him. He's just a serial killer with a mask. I think that can't die. There's nothing special.
Like the premise to Michael Myers is fantastic. I think his origin story is like one of the greatest because I really enjoyed like the first Halloween, the second Halloween, and they go into like his origin story and whatever, and like I really enjoyed that. But like the films that like just get away from like 2 movies would have been perfect, I think. I personally think because you it's like a foundation and it's like done. It's like if the Godfather made like 6 movies.
Oh my God!
Like you know what I mean?
It ruins the I get what you're trying to say.
It ruins the validity of the villain.
Yes.
After you make like so many movies, that's number 1. Number 2, I think like he just gets so lazy as a fucking villain. Like move, bro.
Guess what? Like, then you're gonna hate this one, then. I don't think he moves much in this one at all.
Move, man.
He's not in this movie a lot, bro. I'm not gonna spoil, but he's not in this movie a lot.
Oh my God.
It's not really about him. You know that, right?
Yeah, I heard like I've heard like mixed things about it.
He's not even in it much, bro. I think he's in it for like 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
He's not in it, bro. That's the problem. That's why it was so dumb.
Like I listen, I think like he's a legend, like Michael Myers, like the character's a legend in like the Halloween scene and villains. But like I think that like Freddy Krueger
Yeah, thank
is
you.
such a great villain
Which is
and
like-
such a great like monster.
Well, you know, think about it too. First of all, I love the claw. It's an iconic claw. Michael Myers has the iconic mask. I'll give him that. Okay, Jason has just a machete. I think everyone has their own unique thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna knock Michael Myers to the ground. I do think I do respect him.
But the appearance is one thing. The appearance is different.
I think he had one of the best appearances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very unique. And I'm not sure if you know this. Do you know where his mask is from?
Yes, I do. It's
Let's see if you can remember.
Oh my god, I can't. It's not a Richard Nixon mask. Is it?
That would have made sense because he's
No,
like
it's
him, right?
I watched the documentary on the when they go into it. Fuck, I can't remember.
Star Trek.
Oh, it's a thing. Yes. Yeah.
That's a thing.
No, what's his name?
Captain
man?
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Yes.
Painted white.
I painted
Who would
white.
have thought of that?
I know. I watched the original doc. If you watch it, like the budget film and
how they created it.
yeah, and shit like that.
So, Freddy Krueger.
Richard Nixon. Sorry.
That was hilarious.
Go ahead.
Imagine Richard Nixon.
That's so
talk
fucked.
like this. I can't do it. But Freddy Krueger has that iconic claw. I love how he goes into people's nightmares. Like that's just so.
So I said I was talking about this two episodes ago with Matt. I said the idea.
I watched it.
Yeah, the idea of him going into your nut and you can't and you're asleep
You can't control it.
and you can't control that is the scariest. And the objective is to scare people. Like if I saw Michael Myers in public, I'd probably be like, "What the fuck is this janitor doing wearing a mask?" Like you know what I mean? Like
I'd be scared. Come on.
okay, I'd be scared because he's Michael Myers.
But what if you didn't know?
But if I didn't know what Michael Myers was,
let's say you didn't know the movies.
Exactly. Then I would just be like, "What the fuck is this guy doing wearing a mask?" I wouldn't freak out. Freddy Krueger, I would fucking lose my mind. It's in my dream.
But see, this is the thing about Freddy Krueger's appearance. He doesn't look scary.
What? His face is all bruised.
He looks like pizza, like pepperoni. That's what my girlfriend always say. Looks like a pizza. It's like pepperoni.
It looks like a fucking pizza.
I think it does. It looks delicious actually.
A cheesy pizza.
Like a nice cheesy, Chuck E. Cheese pepperoni pizza.
Oh my god, bro.
But he's good. Jason, I think Jason just looks sick. I just love Jason how he looks.
I like the goalie mask, yeah.
And the song too,
Yeah.
Chucky, everyone hates Chucky. I love Chucky, bro. He's my second favorite. It's Freddy and Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky, I don't know. Like, Chucky, always when it's, like, little guys like Gremlins or Chucky or anything like that, like, even, like, little girls from, like, Insidious or anything like that.
Oh, yes.
It's, I feel like anyone that's, like, small, maybe just because I'm a large dude, anyone that's small, it's kind of just, like, I'll just crunch you. Like, you know, like, as much as you're going to stab me and stuff, like, I'm just going to crunch you.
I think the thing about Chucky, people always forget that he has the strength of a human.
I would hope so. Fuck.
I mean, otherwise, imagine it's like a doll.
Yeah.
No, but like he has the strength of a human. So in the movies, you see like when he's like strangling people, or he's on top of them, or he's like hitting them, like they're actually in pain, bro.
Yeah, I know,
He's
but
strong.
like.
But then again, then it contradicts itself because then you see in the movies they grab him and they throw him.
Yeah, and they toss him.
So it's like, and they really fumbled the ball with Chucky too because they rooted it to more comedy. You notice? Well, not now. Actually, there's a new Chucky series.
Yeah, there's a new
Sci-Fi
one.
Channel, I think.
I don't know.
But
I don't know what channel it's on.
But Bride of Chucky was like kind of funny. Seed of Chucky was a terrible. It's the biggest piece of dog shit. You see that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, and also it's because it's so funny. It's not even But my favorite horror movies, I would say. I watch a lot. My girlfriend and I watch literally one every single day for this whole month. So a couple new ones. I'll tell you the good ones, and I'll tell you some bad ones that I've watched. So 3 good ones I could say. Like in general, I would. Damn. Okay, you know what? I'll do 5. I'll say Halloween for sure. The original.
Yeah, the original.
Iconic. It paved the way for everybody else. The original Nightmare on Elm Street. Mother God, what was it? Okay, I'll just say Child's Play 2.
Okay.
Help me out here. I don't know.
You do 3. You just do 3.
Okay, 3.
Mine was Paranormal Activity. The first one.
Paranormal Activity?
The first one before it went to shit, and the first time you're ever watching it.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say that now. Like, I wouldn't
Looking back,
watch
after you watch so many, you're not gonna be like, okay, that was one.
Like, the first time experience was great.
Okay, yeah.
Like, first time watching it was fantastic. And then, obviously, Halloween.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably say one that I found very scary. I don't know if you've watched Terrifier. That's also very gory. The new movie Terrifier.
I didn't watch the new one, but
Terrifier 2.
I'm hearing mixed things about it, dude.
People are not saying it's not great, but it's very gory. It's gonna make you throw up, like very bad. Like
But I don't get nervous by that though.
Well, fucking, I don't really like it either. But the imagery, like of people getting their shit chopped off and all that, I just don't enjoy.
I think it's just that I just know it's fake.
Yeah, I just find it disturbing. I just don't really like.
Yeah.
Not scary, just very disturbing. But I'd probably say The Nun.
I never watched The Nun.
The Nun was great as well.
You know what was good too? Sinister.
Yes.
The Conjuring.
Yeah, those are a bunch of Insidious and
Insidious.
all those.
Oh, those are like, and you know what? It's a very underrated horror movie. It's not your typical horror movie. It's like a psychological horror. Hereditary.
I haven't heard of it. I mean, I haven't watched it.
Oh, watch it. It's so good. It's with the girl from no, who's the mom in that?
Oh, there's Thing too.
Toni Collette's the mom. I don't know where she's from. I forgot what movie.
There's a Thing too, The Shining.
The Shining's not scary.
I know, but then there's like those are
Those
other
are
like
psychological.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. But The Shining was
American Psycho.
I'm not the biggest fan of the movie.
I'm a very big Christian Bale fan.
I love Christian Bale, but that movie is whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But did you know for that movie? I even talked about it it's a video I'll be posting soon, where he learned to sweat on cue.
Oh my God.
He learned how to sweat on cue. You know the part where he's looking at the Paul Allen's car and he's like freaking out. It's like,
And he's so. How the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, he literally sweat on
How do you
cue.
do that?
Bro, because he's a legend. That guy.
That's impossible though. That sounds impossible.
His body transformations, how he could do all these things. How?
Yeah.
It makes you just crazy. So
wild.
that, and then the ones I don't like. Did you watch a movie called Tusk?
No.
It's the worst. Bro, he turned into a walrus.
What
with human skin.
What?
Bro, are you able to search on your computer right now?
Yeah.
Search up Tusk movie and look what pops up and tell me if you're gonna laugh. It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
What the fuck? Turns into a walrus.
Type in Tusk, yeah.
Give it a second.
Oh, and also a couple of good ones I saw in the theaters. Barbarian was good. That's a good horror movie. Barbarian.
There's a bunch of them, man.
Yeah, but what else did I watch that was good? Oh, Smile. Did you watch Smile?
Yes, very good.
Bro.
Oh my God. Ew, this is disgusting.
Is it?
This picture?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, remember the human centipede ones as
I
well?
was gonna say that. So Tusk, Human Centipede, and what else was really bad? What else do you think is bad? I might agree with you.
There's a couple, like the Paranormal Activities after that were dog shit,
I think
found.
I'll say that, yeah.
Yeah,
So
those are
Paranormal
the-
Activity, Tusk, and
Human Centipede.
Human Centipede.
Yeah, Human
Terrible.
Centipede was fucking shit
Yeah,
too.
that movie's terrible though too.
Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap there for today. Adam.
Yeah, bro, this is fantastic, bro.
This is awesome. I'm extremely glad I had you on.
Hey,
like
bro.
today was a very exciting.
I could talk to you all day, bro.
I know,
love it, man.
fuck
I'm
it.
sorry if I ramble a lot. But
No,
I get
you're
so excited
chilling, man.
talking, bro.
It's so easy to talk to. Well, one interview to another, it's easy, right? It should be easy.
Thanks, man.
But if you're watching the podcast, check out the podcast. Sorry, if you're listening, check out the podcast in full video on YouTube. Check out our Instagram, TikTok, Twitter down below. All of our stuff is there. Adam, where can people reach you?
You can show on Instagram. It's at Adam Lupis, Lupis, and then same thing on YouTube, TikTok, same thing, and that's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
And you have
also-
a production company as well.
Yeah, I was gonna plug that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a short film coming out. We submitted to some festivals. It's called The Joshua Painting. It's a short film that my brother wrote and directed, and worked with my girlfriend on that. She played the waitress, and Christian Kukutso, who's the cinematographer for it. So it's a great short film, and it's coming out, I would say, in the next couple months or so.
Awesome.
But it's called Westona Pictures. You can follow that as well if you want to keep updated. Also, check me out on IMDb if you want to stay updated with all my new stuff coming out. And also, this December, stay tuned on Crave. I got a cool sketch comedy show coming out called The Dessert. You're gonna love it.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Let's
so
get
check it out. Yeah, man.
Awesome. Okay, and that's it for us. You can reach me on Instagram at Matt Storino. And that was episode 55. We refreshed your feed so you didn't have to. Peace out.